Hello, welcome back to our IT Landy Azure hand-on nugget course. We started with the first module and we said, okay, we're gonna do building basically virtual machine ARM, templates. This is the first module, and under this module, we said we're going to create an Azure Resource Manager template via the portal and then use the built-in editor. This is what we have been working with to add Windows and Linux machine along the required dependency. Then we started with part 2. We did the building and extending the deployment by adding availability set to the template, and we configured the public IP address for the machine. Now we're going to assign the IP address to the network card and then deploy the template basically. So back to where we were before, and here we can see the deployment our Linux availability set. I think we got 3, so ignore number 3. But if you want to change it to 3, you can change the update to number 3. So for this part, to be able to associate the public IP address with the network interface, you need to navigate to and select the machine network. So where's the network? This is the network for the Windows machine. Now we need to locate the IP config 1. Okay, let's have a look. Where is IP config 1? Under the VM basically. Is this another NIC? Yeah, network card. Where is IP config 1? This is the IP address, and I just need to find it. Here we go. IP config 1. You can see IP config 1 section, and then again, similar to the previous one, I have some code for us to be able to use. So go back again here. I'm just going to minimize that one. I'm going to use that notepad just to keep pasting the code here so you can see them yourself and you can use them. Okay, so as you can see there, okay, and I will be uploading this one again to the file so you can copy, and you see this is the first part. Yep, part 2 and part 3, and this is part 4. Public IP address, ID, resource, Microsoft Network public IP address parameter, Windows public IP address, and we need to copy and paste this one. So we're going to place that one, find a space and place it. Similar to the previous one, I've got private IP address here. Just click enter here after the properties and paste. Public IP address, similar to, we got one here dynamic for private. Now we paste it public, save that one. Again, I don't have subscription. Let's go back here. So we got that one added. In addition to linking the public IP addresses to the network interface, the deployment engine needs to know that the public IP address object should be created first. This is done by adding public IP address to the depends on section of your network interface. Okay, so let's add that one. Again, I've got another code for you to be able to add it. So let's just highlight it. Back again here. Again, here we go. This is the code to be added. So we tell it where to be added. So again, we need to find the parameters, okay, for the depends on. Let's jump back, and that should be at the end. Where's the network card? Here's the network card. We've just added the IP config change, and it should here be that the depends on, okay, availability set, and that should be depends on. I should be able to search and find it, but it seems I'm very terrible at, let's resign again. Click on this, back, and where is it? Depends on public IP addresses, resource, private IP addresses, resource, taggings, availability sets, disk, and I've got my V subnets. Okay, so And did I find it under the Windows? Again, back again, resource, network interface for the Windows. Just go back again here, and I need to see it. Network interface, properties, and ID, and there's a depends on. Here we go. Just slow down here. So I go to dependency. Just gonna click here, and again paste it here again. Same like the previous one. Okay. So quick show you what did we add. A resource public IP address. This is what we have added. Copy, making sure, and go back again here, and you can see the resource ID public IP. Okay. Next, we need to basically we need to use these steps as a guide for adding the public IP address to the Ubuntu virtual machine. Okay. So same thing we have to repeat like the previous ones. So I'm just going to show you again. We have to go to, now this is the Windows one. I'm just going to click enter, and I have to do the same thing. The first two, this is and this, I need to repeat them for Ubuntu. Here we go. One, ipconfig, nothing is changing here, and it depends on same thing basically. You know, I click here. These are the two. I need to do them for the Ubuntu. You can see there. The only difference here I'm doing, it's not Microsoft anymore. It's Ubuntu. Okay. Let's quickly do this one. So where are we? We go to the left hand side. Where's our Linux? And this is the Linux machine. So same thing. We need to go to the interface. And if you recall earlier, we went to the ipconfig section, and we basically did the first part, and the second part is depend on. So where's the first part? This is Linux. If you can see it, let me know. This is ipconfig. Click on, you can see the private IP address, and let's make sure we are copying only the first part. Yes, it is the first part. ipconfig. Did I click enter? And yeah, and then paste it, and you can see there's a gap here. So take care of that gap. See, does that work? No, it's erroring. So discard, edit. Where's the Linux? Linux. Here we go. Linux and ipconfig. Yeah, no more spaces. Paste. And then we need to go to the depends on. This part. Go grab the second part. This one here. No spaces, hopefully. Depends on here, and again click enter, and here we go, and save it. Again, seems like I'm putting some spaces somewhere here. However, we can discard that one. Click on edit again, and go to the Linux machine, network card. You see, it did not save it. So where's depends on? It's the same like the previous one. You should be able to am I using spaces here? Yeah, I think so. Let's just where is it? And click enter and paste. Okay. And same thing for the first part. Just copy all of these. Where's the ipconfig? And place it here. Okay. These are the two. Next is, let's continue with this. We will be deploying our template. So as you can see, I do not have basically I cannot save it. However, I'm just going to copy it and save it. So we can use the word here download. So I'm going to say download, okay? Because you've seen I have no subscription. So what I will be doing, I will download it. In the template editor, click on download, and save a copy of it. So I'm gonna call it, I don't know, let's call it IT Landy, Windows, and Ubuntu, which is Linux template. Yeah, you can call it whatever you want to call it. And this is again, click on save. I'm just gonna dump it under C. Let's find the temp. Okay, and I'm just gonna dump it under this one here. Yeah, save it. Okay. Right. Hopefully you don't have any errors. I didn't have any errors for the third one. Now you can deploy the template to an existing, custom deployment. So you can see there, you can say load file, you can deploy it. To be able to do this one, again, we created a template. So we will be doing later on some of these, deployment. However, you can change it like, for example, you can deploy the template to an existing resource group. And you can basically like, for example, if I click save here, you see it's error, no comments here again. You can say like quick start, and you can say load from file, and you can see where's that from. Okay, or you can deploy it from like a file. See what I mean? There you can see these are the files we went through, or quick start from a template. Okay, same, you see blank template, marketplace, Ubuntu, desktop. These are plenty of them. Now, I think that's all what I had for you for today. Let's quickly recap what we have achieved on this part, what we did basically. Uh, for part one, let's grab this one again. What we have done basically, we started with creating a resource template through the portal, then we use the built-in editor to add a Windows, and a Linux virtual machine. Then the required dependency, then we extend the deployment by adding availability set. Then after the availability set, what we did, we configured the IP addresses, public IP addresses, then we assign the public IP addresses to the machine. And the last part is we deployed the template. You can deploy the template anywhere you would like. Plus, I had all these scripts here. I'm just gonna copy them and attach them for you so you can utilize them if you choose to. Okay, so I'm just gonna go here because I will be uploading this one again so you can utilize it. However, for the part one, again we go to here notes and I'm just gonna paste it for you. Okay, thank you for watching the first module of our building a virtual machine template, and I shall see you at part 2 of our Azure hand-on course. Goodbye.